Moving on to the next question, 24th one. Which one of the following equations does not correctly represent the first law of thermodynamics? For the given ideal gas, first law of thermodynamics. Assume non-expansion work is 0. Okay. Options are, I will consider the options. Before that, first law of thermodynamics means delta U is equal to Q plus W, where delta U means change in internal energy, Q means heat, W is work. You know the sign conventions also. When Q is positive, when Q is negative, when heat is absorbed, Q will be positive. When heat is evolved, Q will be negative. W, work is done on the system, W will be positive. Work is done by the system, W will be negative. You know all those. Now here they have given, first one is for cyclic process. You know what is a cyclic process, right? The process starts or begins from one point, and after the completion of the process it again comes back to the same point. So cyclic process, they have given Q is equal to minus W. We have to check out whether it is right or not. For a cyclic process, delta U is equal to 0, right? For a cyclic process, delta U is equal to 0. Change in internal energy, because initial and final points are same. So change in internal energy will be 0. So if you apply for first law of thermodynamics, then 0 is equal to Q plus W, or Q is equal to minus W. It is right. But the question is, you will have to find out the wrong option. Now let us move on to the second one. Second one is for adiabatic process, which is given. Adiabatic process, they have given delta U is equal to minus W. This is what is given in the option. But adiabatic process means Q is 0. That means delta U is equal to 0 plus W. So delta U must be plus W. But here it is given minus W. So this is the option which we had to mark. We'll just find out for the other ones also. Isochoric process, they have given isochoric process. In the question it's given delta U is equal to Q. Isochoric process means volume is 0. If volume is 0, then work is pressure into delta V, which will be 0. So delta U is equal to Q plus W, or Q, delta U is equal to Q plus 0. It is the right one. Isochoric process is right. Delta U is equal to Q. Isothermal process is given. Isothermal process means temperature is constant. Delta T is equal to 0. Therefore, here delta T is equal to 0 means delta U is equal to NCV delta T. If delta T is 0, delta U is also 0. So it becomes 0 is equal to Q plus W, or Q is equal to minus W. In the option it is given Q is equal to minus W. It's also right. So which is the option you had to mark? Which is the incorrect one? Option B is the incorrect one, which you have to mark. Next question, 25th. In the 25th question, as you can see, during compression of a spring, so a spring is taken and it is compressed. During compression of a spring, the work done is 10 kilojoule. Work done is 10 kilojoule, and 2 kilojoule escaped to the surrounding as heat. That means Q escaped to the surrounding. Now see, listen properly. 2 kilojoules escaped to the surrounding means what? That means Q is negative. Exothermic process. The change in internal energy delta U is what is being asked. Again, it's very simple. It's just application of first law of thermodynamics, where you need to see delta U is equal to Q plus W. But here when you substitute, it is minus 2 plus work done is 10. It is 8 kilojoule, right? Which is option A. Option A is the right answer here. Next question is 26th one. Which of the following statements is false? Work is a state function. Temperature is a state function. Change in the state is completely defined when the initial and final states are specified. Work appears at the boundary of the system. So option A says work is a state function. Option B says temperature is a state function. Option C says change in state is defined by the initial and final states. And option D says work appears at the boundary of the system. Boundary of the system. Now, which of these are right? So before moving on to this particular one in detail, you know what is a state function, what is a path function. State functions are those in which the function depends on the initial and final state. Whereas path function, which does not depend on the initial and final state, but it depends on the path that has carried. See, in the rest of the options, however, our answer should be option A itself. It's known fact that work is not a state function. Instead, it should be a path function because work done depends on the path. Work done doesn't depend on the initial and final state. Instead, it depends on the path that has been carried out. So work done is a path function, not the state function. Temperature is a state function. Why temperature is a state function? Because it depends on initial and final state. You say T2 minus T1, you get delta T. It is a state function. It depends on initial and final state. Change in state depends on initial and final. Obvious. If you want to know what is the change in the state taking place, you will have to consider the initial state and the final state. So that then only you will know the change in state. This is also the right option. The next one is work done is said to be carried out in the boundary of the system. This is also a right option. So the right answer which you had to mark is option A. Clear? Moving to the next one. The heats of combustion of carbon and carbon monoxide are minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole and minus 283.5 kilojoule per mole respectively. The heat of formation of carbon dioxide. See, this is the heat of combustion for carbon that is given. This is heat of combustion for carbon monoxide that is given. And they have asked you heat of formation of, This is all combustion values. They have asked formation of carbon monoxide is what you'll have to find. That is per mole is what you have to find. So let us write. This is again depending on the Hess law. So First, let us write the equation for combustion of carbon. Next, combustion of carbon monoxide. It's very easy. Then, using that, we will arrive at the formation equation for carbon monoxide. What is the required equation? Required equation is formation of carbon monoxide. Formation of carbon monoxide means 1 mole of carbon monoxide from its constituent elements. So carbon plus oxygen forms carbon monoxide. Formation, so this must be 1 itself. We cannot balance this. So carbon is 1, oxygen is 2, but here it is 1. So 1/2 fraction of it we will take. Clear? Since these things you already know, this is what we need to find out. We do not know. Now this is required equation. Keep it aside. Now let us write the equations for this. Combustion, carbon burning in the presence of excess of oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Here this substance must be of 1 mole which you have taken, which is undergoing combustion. So it is 1. Here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 2. It's balanced. So I'm not mentioning the states here. Please do mention. You know it. Minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole. Next equation. It's for carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide undergoing combustion. Again, carbon monoxide, 1 mole of substance burning in the presence of oxygen. Carbon dioxide. How should I balance this? Here, carbon monoxide, carbon 1, oxygen 3, oxygen 2. So how should I balance this? I will write half here. So now it has become 2 and 2. 1 plus 1, 2. Here it is 2. Now delta H value of combustion is minus 283.5 kilojoule per mole. Apply Hess law using Hess law of constant heat summation. Now again, check out. We want this equation. From here, where do we have carbon? Equation 1. Equation 1 plus. Where do you have carbon monoxide? We have it on the left hand side, but we want it on the right hand side. So reverse of equation 2. When you reverse this part, 2 equations, then what happens? This all comes to the right hand side, this all comes to the left hand side. So right hand side carbon dioxide, left hand side carbon dioxide, 1 oxygen and half oxygen cancels. So you will get carbon plus remaining half oxygen giving carbon monoxide. The same equation you get. So what should I do? Delta H is equal to minus 393.5 plus 283.5. Why it became 283.5? Because we have reversed this equation. When you reverse this equation, it becomes plus kilojoule per mole. It comes out to be minus 110 kilojoule per mole. Here, however, we had studied this particular example for Hess law of constant heat summation, where we know that the overall enthalpy will be minus 393.5, whereas for one step it is minus 283.5, the other step it is minus 110. So from that directly you can mark the answer, but if you have to go stepwise, you can consider this way as well. So which is the option here? Option C is the right answer. Option C, which says minus 110.5, is the right answer. Eighth question. See, in this question, the species which by definition has 0 standard molar enthalpy of formation at 298 Kelvin. Now, they have asked about molar enthalpy of formation. What do you mean by molar enthalpy of formation? The enthalpy change when 1 mole of a substance is formed from its respective or constituent elements, right? Now here they have asked where the molar enthalpy of formation will be 0 at 298 Kelvin. That means at standard temperature condition. Options are given: bromine, which is gas; chlorine, which is gas; water, gaseous state; methane in the gaseous state. Okay. Now here they have asked in which of these molar enthalpy of formation is 0, right? So remember a condition when molar enthalpy of formation will be 0 is when the elements or the substances in its elemental form or the given options, the elements must be in its standard state. When the elements are in their standard states, that is when molar enthalpy of formation will be 0. Now we will check out the option. Okay, in the options, as you can see here, you have bromine. Bromine gaseous state has been mentioned. Whether the standard state of bromine is a gas? No, bromine exists in its liquid state. So this is not the option which we are considering. So its molar enthalpy of formation cannot be 0 at 298 Kelvin. Now chlorine. Chlorine, whether it is a gas? Yes, chlorine is a gas. So its molar enthalpy of formation can be 0. Now let us consider other options also, whether we'll check out whether the other options, anyone has molar enthalpy of formation 0. Consider water, whether water is in its gaseous state, standard state. So standard state of water is liquid, right? Liquid is its standard state. At standard condition at 298 Kelvin, water will be in its liquid state. So that is again not the option which we are searching for. Methane. Methane, yes, it is a gas. Consider its elemental form. However, H2O and methane, it doesn't come under this category because we are speaking about the elemental state of the given substances here. So water is a molecule or a compound, you say. Methane is also a compound or molecule. Even otherwise, carbon is solid. Hydrogen is a gas, which is not the option which we are looking for. So the right option is option B. Hope it is clear. Molar enthalpy of formation will be 0 if the substances in its elemental state, that is at standard state, they are in their elemental form, because chlorine exists in its gaseous state, and that is the option given here. It is the right one. We'll see the next question. Next question is, the bond energy in kilocalorie per mole of carbon-carbon single bond is. Again, this is a memory based question where we know that approximately the bond energy of carbon-carbon single bond is 100 kilocalories. So that is what the question was. A bond energy in kilocalorie per mole of carbon-carbon single bond is approximately. So you note down for carbon-carbon double bond, carbon-carbon triple bond if it is there. And so for carbon-carbon single bond, it's 100 kilocalorie. The options were given 1, 10, 100, 1000. So option C was 100. Option C is the right answer for this particular question. Let me continue here. 30th, delta H of vaporization is given 30 kilojoule per mole. Delta S of vaporization, that is entropy change for a vaporization process, is 75 joule per mole per Kelvin. Find the temperature of vapor at 1 atmospheric pressure. So for a vaporization process, you know, liquid state getting converted or liquid substance getting converted into its gaseous form. So in that case, delta H of vaporization is given, delta S, that is entropy change, is also given. They are asking you to find temperature at 1 atmospheric pressure. You know the relationship of delta S, delta H and delta T, where we had used this particular expression to solve a problem. Delta S is equal to delta H by T. Now since we have to find T, we will write T is equal to delta H by delta S. It's just a substitution process where T is equal to delta H is 30 kilojoule. So we will write 30,000 by, here it is 75 joule per mole per Kelvin. It comes out to be 75 400 Kelvin. Here check out the units, kilojoule. So since we have converted it for joule per mole, here it is joule per mole per Kelvin. Here joule per mole cancels, per Kelvin becomes Kelvin when it comes to the numerator. So which option was it? It was option A, which is 400 Kelvin. So here ends the solution for module 4, that is the questions from thermodynamics unit. So at least now you have an idea of which kind of questions will be asked. Concentrate on these concepts more. Most of the questions are repeated from these concepts. So you may find, very rarely you may find the questions being repeated, but the concept is simple, so do concentrate on that and try to understand the questions and solve. Thank you. We'll meet in next video.